Is basically a PowerPoint presentation just for you to give a brief idea about like what we are going to deal today. Okay, so this is exercise number 4. So today we'll be seeing stress analysis of a rectangular plate which is having a hole. So there is going to be a plate with a hole. Okay, so for this hole we are going to do a stress analysis. In order to do the stress analysis here, what we do is we calculate something called stress concentration factor. Okay, so this is the condition. This is a sample condition. Okay, this is not the exact problem that we'll be dealing today. This is a sample condition. So what you see is you see a plate with a hole in the center, and we see load of given in both the directions. Okay, so this is the kind of problems that we'll be discussing today. Okay, so this is something associated with stress concentration factor. So stress concentration factor is very important for brittle materials. So there are a lot of brittle materials like so for the brittle materials, stress concentration factor is very important. It helps in calculating fatigue and evaluating safety of the material. This is a theoretical part just. So just understand what is stress concentration factor, which will be computing today. So there are two ways to do calculate stress concentration factor. This is a graphical method in which you could calculate stress concentration factor. So here you see a graph where you see the stress concentration factor on the y-axis and diameter to width ratio in the x-axis. So when you calculate diameter to width ratio, if you, for instance, if I calculate diameter to width ratio, and if the value is going to be 0.3, if the value is going to be zero point 0.3, from here I draw a vertical line till it intersects the curve. And then from here I draw one horizontal line. So my this value, the point of intersection, this value gives me the stress concentration factor. So this is a graphical evaluation process. Okay. So we are going, this is one way we could calculate stress concentration factor. The other way is using ANSYS software. Okay, so this is the concept of stress concentration. Okay, so generally the the formula to calculate stress concentration factor is maximum stress by nominal stress. So nominal stress is something like usually we can obtain using a formula, whereas maximum stress is something like we will not get, for which what we will do is we will use the application of ANSYS software. If it is going to be shear stress, then we call this as shear stress concentration factor with shear stress to with maximum shear stress to nominal shear stress. So this is the formula to calculate the nominal stress. This is something you need to remember. So when we give the problem to you in the exam, you have to calculate the nominal stress and put it here. And the sigma max value is something like you compute from the ANSYS software and enter, and then you'll find the stress concentration factor. So this is how you are supposed to approach this problem. This is the problem that we'll be discussing here today. So the question is, this is how you'll get in the question exam, you'll get the question. Find the stress concentration factor for the plate containing a circular hole at its middle. Validate the numerical answer with theoretical formula. Take Young's modulus. So this is the Young's modulus is given. Poisson's ratio is given. So in order to do this sum, we are doing some assumptions. So we assume that the load of 3 kilonewton is loaded onto the material, and we assume the thickness of the plane to be 0.2 meter. So here, if you look at the hole diameter, the length and breadth, and all the informations, I'm keeping it in meters. Okay, so this is how I calculate the nominal stress. So this is a standard formula. You substitute these values, you get the nominal stress 18,750. So in order to calculate the stress concentration factor is equal to maximum stress by nominal stress. Stress concentration factor is equal to maximum stress by nominal stress. So what I do is I get the nominal stress from the equation. I put this value in the denominator. For the numerator, I use the ANSYS application to compute this. And I substitute here and I'll getting the stress concentration value as 2.56. So in today's class, for this case, we'll teach you how to get this maximum stress value. Okay, so we will be in a position to compute stress concentration factor. Okay, and if you look at in detail, you know here the hole diameter. The hole diameter is zero point 0.2. Okay, so if you go back to the graphical representation, if you go back to the graphical representation, here it is diameter by breadth. Okay, so it's zero point 0.2 by 1 in our case. Diameter is 0.2, breadth is 1, 0.2 by 1. So from here I draw point 2. I go a straight line. It cuts this blue line at this particular point from where I draw an horizontal line. From where I draw an horizontal line, it comes to 2.5. So graphically or numerically, the value of the stress concentration factor is computed as 2.5 from this particular graph. Okay. Now, when we compute it with the help of ANSYS software, also we get it around 2.5. So the key important thing we have to keep in mind is this particular value alone we have to generate from ANSYS software. So now we'll go to the ANSYS software. Okay. So like by now many of you know like how to open up the ANSYS software. So I'm opening up the ANSYS software. Okay, so I just gave my job name as Plate with All, and then I run the software. It gets me the home page. So I know like everybody knows how to open the ANSYS software. Now I go to the preferences. First step, I go to the preferences, click on preferences. On clicking on preferences, a dialog box opens where I check structural and then I hit OK button. After doing this, I go on to the preprocessor tab and then I click on element type. After clicking on element type, I click on add edit button, which a dialog box opens under the name element types. Click on add on the dialog box. A library of the element types dialog box opens. In the library of dialog box, you have a lot of items. In previous cases, we were selecting beam. Now we are going to select solid because in today's class, we'll be dealing with a solid flat plate. So now when you click solid, various option pops up to the right side. So here we select quad 4 node 182. Always select quad 4 node 182 and click OK button. After clicking OK button, now in the element types box, in the element types dialog box, there is a button called options. Click on the options button. Okay, so this dialog box pops up. In the dialog box, you have to go in the element behavior. There is a drop down box. In this dialog box, under K3, there is a drop down box. You have to click on the drop down box and pick plane stress with thickness. You have to click plane stress with thickness and click on the OK button. Once you click on this OK button and then you close. After that, you click on real constants. So real constants is something new for you. In earlier cases, we never add real constant. Since here we are dealing with a solid plate and we have to we have to operate with real constants. In real constants, what we do is we give the thickness of the plate information. So clicking on layer constants, click add edit button. The box opens up. In the box, click add. So another box opens up. In this, click OK. It prompts you to enter the thickness of the plate. In our case, the thickness of the plate is assumed to be 0.2 meter. So I enter 0.2 meter and hit OK button and then close it. Now, like as usual, I go to the material properties. I go to the material models tab and then define the type of material. For this, I click structural. I click linear. In linear, I select elastic. Under elastic, I select isotropic. In isotropic, when I click it, a dialog box prompts up. Now I enter the value of Young's modulus given in the question, which is 2e power 11. And the Poisson's ratio is also mentioned in the question, which is 0.3. Okay, so I enter these informations and I click OK. So by means of doing this, we have defined the material. So now click on material and exit. Okay. So next we go to the modeling. So here we are actually going to create a rectangular plate. So I click on create button. So in the create button, usually we used to draw key points. But in today's class, we are going to use areas. So click areas. Under areas, click rectangle. So once you click rectangle, different options will be available. We choose the method by two corners. Click on that. The dialog box will prompt up. So we have to give the coordinate information here. So I give the base corner as 0, 0 and the opposite top corner, diagonally opposite corner information is 1, 1. Okay, that is the maximum coordinate which a rectangle can go. So I give this information onto this dialog box and click apply button. Once you click apply button, you could see the rectangle box appearing in the Ansys software. Now, since it is going to be a plate with a hole, it is very important for us to draw a circle in the plate. So in order to do this, in order to do this, in order to do this, we have to draw a circle. So if you draw a circle on this flat plate, it might not be clearly visible for you. For this, we use the plot control option, click on style and go to the colors and click reverse video to make the background light so that we'll be in a position to pick up the circle when you define the circle in the flat plate. So now I click on circle. Once I click on circle, the options available pops up. So from this, I pick up solid circle. When I click on solid circle, it asks me the center point. Okay, where I need to draw the circle. So the point is going to be 0.5, 0.5 and 0.5 and radius is going to be 0.1 mm, 1 meter. Okay, so we give this information and click apply. You could see the circle coming in the center. You could see the circle coming in the center. Click OK button. Okay, now you could see like there are two elements there. One is a flat plate and the other is a circle element. What is that we need to do is we have to cut the circle part away from this plate. So for this, we perform an operation called Boolean. Okay, we perform an operation called Boolean. So I mentioned the word operation. So in the modeling, we have a tab called operate. So click on the operate. There you have a button for Boolean to perform Boolean operations. In click on Boolean. See, in Boolean, you can do a lot of operations: addition, subtraction, divide, and glue. Very commonly, we use addition, subtraction, and intersect for mechanical field. So in this case, I need to subtract the circular element from the rectangle box. So I click on the subtract button. After clicking on the subtract button, I need to click areas. After clicking on areas, a dialog box prompts. Okay, so after a dialog box prompts under the name subtract areas. Okay, now you go into the structure, the diagram as you see in the screen, and click on the image. Okay, something called multiple entity pops up. Don't do anything there. Okay, click on OK. Okay, next again you go into the diagram and click. Okay, now again the multiple entities you have to do it 2 times, and the second time the multiple entities box pops up. At that time, click next and select the circle. Click on next. Okay, this the circle gets highlighted. Okay, now click OK. Now that is the part that will be removed. So this is how we do Boolean operation. Okay, so you have to keep in mind, you have to click the structure 2 times, and when you click it on the second time, in the multiplicity dialog box, you have to click next. That will highlight the circle. Okay, and clicking on OK, the circle will be removed off. So now I have modeled the flat plate with the thickness of 0.2 mm here with a hole in the center. Then I go for meshing operation. Meshing is quite easy here when compared to the previous cases. So in the meshing, as usual, I select mesh tool. When I click on mesh tool, the usual pop-up box comes in. Here, what I do is there's something called smart size. You have to check this. See, you don't do this for beams. You do only this for flat plate. Okay. So when you open the mesh tool, there's something called smart size. You have to check the checkbox there, and the size will be brought to 1. Okay, we'll make the size fine. Okay, so you bring the size to 1, and then you click on the mesh button and then select the rectangular plate and then click the OK in the mesh area dialog box. You could see that the meshes have been created in the flat plate. Okay, so each rectangle, the small meshes is nothing but the area of computation. So I have created a lot of Esma. After I finish this, after I finish the session, you could ask me the questions. Let me finish first.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so like I have created the mesh areas. Okay, So once I complete the mesh areas, next what I do is I go on to solution. So this is usual platform, okay, usual procedure that you do. So after meshing, I go to solution. In the solution, click on define loads. There you click on apply. Okay. In apply, select structural. In structural, click on displacement. Okay. In the displacement, select line. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lock one area of the plate. So I click line and I select the line which I'm going to lock, and then I click OK. Now I select all degrees of freedom and give the displacement value as 0, and I click OK. So if you see that one area of the plate has been completely fixed. Can we go to plot controls? So in the plot controls, I will bring back the black screen so that you can view better. Okay, even in black screen, you're not able to see better. So again, I'll go back to white screen itself. Okay, okay. So in the white screen, you saw like the one part of the uh, side of the plate is being fixed. Okay, so that is something we did. Next, what you do is you click on pressure. Okay, in pressure, click on lines. Okay, so this is the I'm going to select the opposite line. Okay, click on the opposite line and click OK. Okay, so here we have to give the value of load. So in order to calculate the value of load, we take the formula, that is load by area. Stress is equal to load by area. So in this case, the load is 3 kilonewton, which is nothing but 3000 Newton, divided by area is 0.2. So if we divide this, we get a value of 15,000, which I'm entering it here. So as usual, I enter with negative sign 15,000 and I click OK button. You could see the load acting appearing. So the case of defining the load is complete. Now I will go to solve. So I click on solve. In solve, I click on current LS. The solution is available for us. So click all this. Next, I go to the general post processing. So under general processing, I click on plot results. In plot results, I click on counter plot. So in the counter plot, I click on nodal solution. So in the nodal solution, I need to figure out the stress. So I click on stress. So generally the stress that we pick is 1 Mohs stress. So I click on 1 Mohs stress and hit OK button. So you could see the stress distribution in the flat plate, and you could see this red area at the bottom indicates the maximum area of stress. And you can see the maximum stress obtained is 48,108, which is what we have used in the computation. So I use 48,108 and compute the stress configuration as 2.56. So this is how. So this is how we have to calculate the stress concentration factor for this particular case. One second.